back with another Path of Exile 2 video. Well, it's been a long time. Yeah, I'm back. I've made a build video. It's more designed at wiping out whole maps quick rather than anything else. But what we do, let's just jump in. So I'm level 95. I am the martial artist. I've got 59 strength, 149 dexterity, and 148 intelligence. 1 life. We're taking CI. Energy shield 6,333, 804 mana, 100 spirit, 53 evasion, and then my resistances are pretty much at 75%. Obviously chaos doesn't matter because I'm immune to chaos resistance. Let's move to the skills. So we've got Will and Assault. Will and Assault is pretty much the monk's like bread and butter. It is very, very good. And we've got this with Oisin's Oath for mana leech. We've got Culmination to spend combo. We've got this with to reduce the cost. Aelif's Chimes and Living Lightning. Okay, so these two pair together, this gives you your power charges. So basically, you'll do your Will and Assault, it'll spend its combo, it'll give you 6 power charges, and so on and so forth. Falling Thunder. Falling Thunder is absolutely insane. It's a big AoE clear. If you remove Nova projectiles and Ricochet, you can make it to basically like a one-shot boss. So we've got this with Elemental Armament, Culmination 2, Ricochet 2, Nova projectiles, and rapid attacks. I do have the support gem that gets them to come backwards, but I do like it / don't like it. I do like it that it comes back, but I don't like it that it has a cooldown. Flicker Strike. We all know I'm going to run Flicker Strike. I've got this with Hit and Run, Close Combat for more attack damage, obviously for in 1 meter, Concentrated Area for more area damage and less area of effect. Rakia's Flow. We're running this in weapon set 2, so we've got this for more damage and reduce attack speed. Again, you don't really need to run this if you don't want to. If you are running an Invoker, by all means, don't run Rakia's Flow. You don't need to. Charge Staff, so we've got this with Innovate, Culling Strike, Elemental Armament, Thrill the Kill, and then Stun. Okay, I'll explain why we've got Stun in a little while, but as you can see, we have a 1,700% physical stun build-up, and then these two here, 1,100 and 1,100. We've got Charge Regulation, which basically gives you more critical hit chance, more armor, and increased skill speed if you have the different charges. The downside with this, now, because I've changed my helmet, is I don't have the Thermatologic Generator, which generates power charges. But once you have, if you have that, or you have it where it's breaking armor and stuff like this, you'll generate power charges. Ideally, you could probably maybe drop Oisin's Oath or something out of Will and Assault and put in Charge Regulation, which will generate a random charge. So then you can get your Endurance and your Frenzy charges, which is going to give you more skill speed, and then it's going to give you more Evasion and Energy Shield. Herald of Ice and Herald of Thunder. So these are identical. We've got them with Concussive Runes, Stun Free, Magnified Area, Cold Mastery, and Elemental Armament. Okay, so how this is working. Remember, Heralds cannot damage and cause an explosion based off another Herald. Okay, this happened since 0.1, the way they changed it, but the Herald of Ice and the Herald of Thunder are not causing the damage. Okay, so as you can see here, I've got a fire stun build up and a lightning stun build up. Remember, Herald of Ice cannot stun. As you can see, fire stun build up and lightning stun build. Cannot shock, cannot cause freeze build up. Alright, what's actually happening is, as Herald of Thunder is hitting down, it is proccing Runic Ward, because it is heavy stunning the enemy. Okay, then as it's proccing this Runic Ward is then causing the Herald of Ice to explode, which is then proccing Runic Ward. This Runic Ward is then causing the Herald of Thunder to come back, which is proccing Runic Ward. So realistically, you're not proccing the Heralds, you're proccing the Concussive Runes. As you can see in the video, it comes down, it hits it, and then it constantly just keeps proccing and proccing and proccing. You need a lot of ward for this, which is the annoying part about it, but it's quite straightforward to get some if you just put it in the machine that gives you ward, or have a go at crafting a helmet. Again, you can get certain helmets that have ward. They're very hard to come by because not many people craft it. Then we've got Mantra of Destruction. This is obviously giving you chaos damage, basically, every time you use it. So obviously it goes to 8, and then this is going to give me 69% damage as chaos damage. I don't know why I put that in there. I was trying to get something to proc, but it didn't work. Remember, in order for this to work here, you need to put Culmination in first. So Culmination, then Aelif's Chimes, okay, and it'll work. If you don't put Culmination in, Alright, you are not putting airlift chimes in. This is, I dropped a Rakiata's Flow, sold the Rakiata's Flow, and then pretty much spent all my money on a Quarterstaff. This cost me about 400 divine. It's not perfect. That T3 cold needs changing. I'm going to see if I can try and roll a tier 1 cold on it. And obviously it's plus 4 to melee skills, which is annoying because plus 5 would be better. Ideally, I wouldn't mind trying to remove Onslaught, but Onslaught gives you obviously skill speed and movement speed, and it lasts for 4 seconds, and I'm pretty much gaining Onslaught all the time with the amount of clear it does. Then we've got a helmet. This helmet has got energy shield, Runic Ward, critical hit chance, intelligence, which I'm going to change, and then cold resistance, which for my build is a little bit annoying because I want fire resistance, but like I say, Ground crafted this for me, so thank you very much. Energy shield chest and evasion, so 1405 and then 422 energy shield. We got this with life and then gain deflection equal to 20% of the evasion. You can pick these up for about 30 divine. Again, the life on it is pointless going to run in CI, but I do plan to run low HP. Then we just got this here. I do have a better one, but it doesn't have plus 3 to melee skills. I have one that has Eternal Rage. So this has got increased critical damage bonus, evasion rating, energy shield, and then I've allocated Overwhelming Strike for more critical hit chance, more critical damage bonus, and more stun build up. Then we've got the Polcirkeln ring. This is back. Okay, so the enemies chilled by your hits can be shattered as a frozen. Okay, this seems to cause the heralds to pop really far. I have tried it without it, and it does proc, but I feel like I don't have enough Herald of Ice and Herald of Thunder damage. If you can get these to insane levels, like, do you know what I mean? I've seen people who probably having like 100 or 1,000. You probably won't need to run this. And then I've just got an iron ring that I've had for ages. I've just crafted this myself. I know you know it's chaos damage at the top. Ideally, I'd like that to be like, I don't know, flat cold or flat lightning. Gloves. So these gloves are flat lightning, flat fire, increased armor, plus 2 to melee skills. Armor also applies to elemental damage and increased critical damage bonus. Obviously, when you go through and put them with the Monk's Ascendancy, for the martial artist, they change to more global evasion and energy shield. Attacks gain 12% of extra fire. They gain 23% of extra lightning. Critical hit chance, quality of skills, all elemental resistances, and plus 1 to melee. I've got an Ingenuity belt, which is 30 and 28, with plus 22% to fire resistance. I do have a Mage Blood, but like I said, it's not mine. I have borrowed it, so I can use this, and it kind of puts my DPS up to 249,000, and then obviously puts my resistances up quite high. The downside is I want to sit and divine it, and get rid of this and put this as like Quicksilver, and then maybe put this as silver, or remove this as silver. So ideally you'd probably want Bismuth, Sulfur, Silver, Quicksilver. So that'll probably give you the best options. But like I said, I run it either or. And then we've got some boots. We've got this with movement speed, fire resistance, lightning resistance, and increased energy shields and stuff like that. And then we've got a Rite of the Passage, which dropped for the Spirit of Owl. So this gives me increased energy shield, increased damage, and then gain extra cold damage as well, and it summons a cold tornado. If you've got better gear, the more lightning damage you have, the more that you'll proc the Concussive Runes. Okay? Make sure you have a decent amount of ward. I tried this around about 100 ward. It doesn't work as well. Probably around about 500 is a very good amount. Again, get these heralds up. Okay? Get them as high as possible. Stack them with flat damages. Alright, flat damage here, flat damage here. Remove the Polcirkeln ring. Some more flat damage here. If you do have an Invoker, this is going to be better because you're going to gain damage based on its ascendancy, and you're going to gain damage by its critical hits, ignore elemental resistances. If you are Invoker, remove Rakiata's Flow, as I said before. This is the skill tree. We've got Martial Master for combo, regardless of weapon set. With the Stone Fist, again, so this transforms the gloves into different ones. Runic Meridians, which gives me these runes. So I've got the blinded, maimed, and cannot evade my hits. Reduce effect of curses. 15% of damage taken from life before mana. Mana before life. Magnitude of non-damaging ailments, so that's freeze, chill, shock, and electrocute. And then movement speed, which gives me a total of, I think, 37 movement speed, 35. Then we move up. We take Flow Like Water for attack and cast speed and dexterity. In Mindful Awareness for increased evasion, energy shield, and Step Like the Mist for movement speed, and dexterity. We've got Crashing Wave to deal increased damage if we dealt a critical hit. Remember, with charge regulation, we are sat around about 100%, so we deal critical hits pretty much all the time. Then we've got Concussive Attacks for increased attack damage and chance to daze. Power Within for critical damage bonus if you gain a power charge, and then +1 to maximum power charges. Killer Instinct, again, 40% attack roll on full life. We are on full life here. Once I get at Series Communion, again, I'm going to use this, and then that'll put me down to low life, which means that I'll gain an extra 20% damage, which means that you can put all the low life support buffs on it, which means that then you'll increase your damage. And then we move up here, we've got True Strike, For the Jugular, and Deadly Force. So basically these give me crit hit chance, critical damage bonus, and more damage, increased damage, sorry, if you deal a critical hit. Then we come around and we've got Spectral Ward for +1 to energy shield per 12 evasion. Then we come right over here, we've got Careful Assassin, which gives me more critical hit chance, and then reduced critical damage bonus, which means I'm immune to bleeding. I've got a Heart of the World Diamond with extra cold, extra lightning, extra critical, increased critical hit chance, and increased critical damage bonus. I still want to divine this and make it like as close to 15 and as close to 8 and 12 as possible, but again, I don't have the currency. Then we've got Overflowing Power for more power charges. Seeker for increased critical damage bonus at the cost of reduced critical hit chance. Then on Weapon Set 2, because we are running Weapon Set 2, we've got Martial Artistry for accuracy, critical damage bonus, and dexterity. Will and Assault for increased attack speed and knocks your enemies back if you gain a critical hit. And then we've got One with the River, which gives us increased armor, evasion, freeze, and stun build-up. All off that bit. Again, like I said, we want to stun, because if we stun, we'll proc Concussive Runes, because it's based off heavy stun, which then will cause Herald of Thunder to proc, which will cause Herald of Ice to go bang, which... Then you come down and we've got Shatter of Impact for increased damage. Skills deal 8% increased damage per combo. This is mainly for Falling Thunder. So again, we get more damage per combo expended, and again a maximum of 10. So again, this Falling Thunder puts it to, I think it goes to like 1.7 million or something, which isn't too bad. We've got a Jewel here with increased critical hit chance, increased critical damage bonus, and we grant increased area of effect. I forgot there's a Jewel over here as well. This is the bad boy. 31% increased evasion rating, 31% increased maximum energy shield, 20% increased critical damage bonus, 12% increased maximum energy shield, 7% increased damage, and then 57% increased effect of prefixes. This gives me quite a bit of energy shield, gives me 10,000 damage, and I think it gives me quite a bit of evasion as well. Yeah, 1%. Okay, it's again, ideally this would probably be better changing to a +3 to Flicker Strike or +3 to Falling Thunder. Maybe the one that gives you gain extra as lightning damage. Notable passives gives it per 4% per passive or something. I can't remember what it's called. Then we've got Dizzying Hits, which is basically increased critical damage bonus and chance to daze, critical hit chance and stuff like that. And then again, increased critical damage bonus, increased critical hit chance, chance to daze, increased area of effect. We've got Heart Stopping, Struck Through, and Heartbreaking. These are all critical hit chance and critical damage bonus as well. Enhanced Reflexes for increased evasion, and then gain deflection equal to 5% of the evasion and increased dexterity. First Principle Hollow, which gives us evasion and energy shield and increased maximum energy shield. And then First Teachings of the Keeper, which gives us fire and cold chaos resistance, and again you gain deflection. And then once you activate both of these, you'll get this, the Hollow Keeper, which reduces the effect of curses on you. Pair this with this, okay, and you've pretty much got 100% reduced effect, which means that like slows and stuff like that, over the ice, profane ritual, all them like curses won't affect you. And then we move down to Bestial Skin for increased evasion. Come down here to get Coming Calamity. We are using cold and lightning, so we get 40% for each one. And then we come round finally, and we've got Shatter Palm and Hallowed. Hallowed gives me ailment threshold and stun threshold equal to maximum energy shield, and then Shatter Palm gives me critical damage bonus and more stun build-up. Okay, so a little bit faster than normal, a little bit rustier than normal. Apologies for not uploading videos. I've just been focusing on other things and took a step back from Path of Exile, and yeah, I come back, I'm enjoying it. I think it's kind of nice when you drop Garricon's Resolve pretty much first stream back. Again, we'll probably try and upgrade the build. I'm going away for a week now, so there will be no like upgrades after this. I will try change it. I'll try see if I can put this to insane amounts of damage, but at the moment it's just it's currency, and it's towards the end of the league. I've not really getting much currency as it is. I'm running rituals, which are giving me quite a bit, but I'm spending it on the upgrades and stuff like that. The next thing I'm going to get is a ring. I've seen one for around about 200 div, unless someone's already got one with triple flat and then all elemental resistances and then some mana reach. If you have, let me know and save it for me and I'll buy it off you. And then possibly a new amulet, which will give me, I don't know, Eternal Rage or something. And then the next thing will be trying to sort that Mage Blood so I can actually have the legacies that I want. Yeah, there's a long way to go. If you got the currency, like I say, drop a comment below, ask me what you need to build, and I'll give you help. Any changes or anything you recommend that I should try changing, please let me know. Like I say, if you've seen a better way for these to stack, or a better way for these heralds, by all means let me know. As you can see here, when you use a stun, it does half the damage of it. Okay, so you could possibly try running stun 2, which will give you 240%, but your damage is obviously significant. Again, if we go into here, stun 2, and your damage is hugely changed, okay, because it halves it, stun 3 halves it, which is a little bit annoying, but you get 300% more stun build up. Alright, as you can see here, look at the stun build up, 240%, 700%, okay, and Concussive Runes support skills trigger a runic shockwave on heavy stunning an enemy. Okay, so we need to heavy stun, and remember heavy stun is based on your stunning. Okay, you could possibly run Temper Spell. Temper Spell would also create an insane amount of stun. And the thing I want to try, if you're still here at the end of the video, please, if anyone's got decent gear, try this with Hollow Palm and Staggering Palm. I feel with Staggering Palm, Hollow Palm, and what's it called now? Tempest Flurry, I feel you could create an absolute mapping monster that will proc these heralds like a stupid amount, because this is going to heavy stun. Okay, it's going to instantly heavy stun enemies which are primed for stun. This will basically give you the lightning damage. You can use this as actually a movement speed if you want to, and you can move around with Tempest Flurry and then just use Falling Thunder for your damage. If you want to, you could possibly even, I know it sounds really daft, but you could possibly look at having Hollow Palm as weapon set 1, and then having all these buffs on weapon set 2 to give you large amounts of damage for your Falling Thunder. Leave a comment below if you tried it, or if you fancy trying it. Like I say, please let me know. I'm interested to see how quick it'll fly around the maps. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Stay safe and peace.